Switching now to Pope Francis overnight. He was transferred to St. Peter's Basilica for viewing by mourners from around the world for the next 3 days. Funeral is going to take place Saturday morning with a mass in St. Peter's Square, followed by his burial. Let's start out with senior national correspondent Terry Moran in Rome. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. The crowds here in Rome are already thronging St. Peter's Square, the line stretching all the way down the road that leads to the Basilica, and the formal farewell has begun, mixing the high ceremonies of the church with the simplicity Pope Francis lived by.
This morning, a solemn ceremony in Vatican City. Pope Francis brought to St. Peter's Basilica to lie in state. The Pope's simple wooden coffin, carried by white-gloved pallbearers, escorted by the Papal Swiss Guard in their resplendent uniforms. Cardinals joining the procession as it made its way from the Chapel of the Santa Marta guest house just after 9 a.m. in Vatican City. Irish-American Cardinal Kevin Farrell, a former Dallas bishop,
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti,
leading a brief prayer before Pope Francis began his final journey to the Great Basilica, his home church as Pope for 12 years. Applause rose up across St. Peter's Square. Thousands gathered here to pray and pay their respects.
And we were meant to have an audience with him today, and we will do, but not in the way that we expected.
Before the great altar of St. Peter's, Cardinal Farrell sprinkled holy water over the Pope's body, a reminder of baptism, and then the incense, a symbol of prayer. Pope Francis will remain here for the next 3 days before his funeral on Saturday in St. Peter's Square, and tens of thousands are expected to come and pay their last respects. And this morning, new details about the funeral. Leaders from around the world will be there, including President Trump and the First Lady, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and Prince William. The Pope's funeral on Saturday will begin with Mass at 10 a.m. local time in the square in front of St. Peter's Basilica, followed by a burial at the Basilica of St. Mary Major, a couple of miles away. The Pope breaking with tradition, asking to be buried, quote, in the earth, simple, without particular decoration. Across the globe, mourners are also celebrating the Pope's life, from Buenos Aires, where he grew up, to Gaza, where the Pope had a special relationship with the Catholic parish there. Father Gabriel Romanelli telling ABC News he spoke with Pope Francis daily throughout the war.
Buona Pasqua.
And this morning, new details about the Pope's final moments after that amazing moment Easter Sunday, where one last time Francis made his way through the crowds in the Pope-mobile. Vatican News reporting that Pope Francis asked his longtime personal nurse if he thought he could manage the outing, and then thanked him afterwards for bringing me back to the square. Then Francis enjoyed a quiet Easter dinner, and around 5:30 Monday morning fell ill. Those who were with him telling Vatican News he did not suffer and passed quickly.
What comes next after Saturday's funeral and burial? The conclave, that ancient process, all the cardinals gathering in the Sistine Chapel, sworn to secrecy to choose the next pope. No date for that has been set yet. Vatican rules say it should be 15 to 20 days after the death of a pope, and that will be fascinating. Robin?
It will. All right, Terry, our thanks to you.